Hello, welcome to the quiz once again. If you are tuning in when this is no longer a live quiz, then feel free to look at the description when I will put a timestamp to when the actual quiz questions begin. But in the meantime, I'm going to spam the link around to the usual places. So feel free to chill out for the next 10 minutes while I do that. Hello, Pierrot, and the other two people who've tuned in, even though I haven't posted the link anyway yet. So I need to spam it on the event. And I need to put it in chat to the person I was chatting to. How does that work? Here we go. Still finding my way around the new Facebook layout. That person. I'll make the main page. Right. Where else do I normally span it? Here we go. Right, is there anywhere else I need to spam it, or is that everywhere? Let's have a think. Why is my computer making annoying noises? Hi, Joan. Good to see you. Got the link okay? Which window am I typing in? Why is that not working? Go away. Okay, done. Right. Well, that'll happen pretty quickly. I'm all up to speed, got everything sorted. Actually, I haven't opened up my questions document. That's the thing I always forget to do, and is possibly the most important thing. There we go. Zoom it so I can actually read it. Done. Okay, good. Sorted. Got my browser open for checking last minute answers and questions when I do silly bonus points that I become unconfident of halfway through. Tonight I'm drinking the very last of my Spanish liqueur, which I talk about quite a bit. And in an act of what I can only describe as pure sacrilege, I decided to mix it with the remains of some vanilla Coke that I had left, which created this monstrosity. But in case you're wondering what I go on about, it's this stuff. Licor 43 Cointreau y Tres. It's delicious. I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it before. Right, I can put that away now. Hello, Jill. Hello, Nikki. Nice to see a few regulars. It'd be good to get a few more regulars, so tell your friends. Right, that's, well, why is that window going away? Okay, cool. Right, so we're getting started in about 5 minutes, I would say. Pierrot's drinking a gin and tonic. I don't know about gin. I think if it's not the 1920s and you're not a prostitute in Paris, you've got no good reason to be drinking gin. G'day, Davey. But, you know, that's just like my opinion, man. You're welcome to your own opinion and indeed your own facts. Alternate facts are a thing now. It's going to make the whole concept of trivia go out the window if we start accepting alternate facts for everything. What's the capital of Norway? Well, I think it's Philadelphia. Easy flavors, no sugar like Cointreau. Yeah, Cointreau is very sugary. But that's fine, it's a liqueur. It's meant to be sugary. It's meant to be delicious. Hello, Simone. I'm assuming everybody can hear me okay. The blue light is on my microphone. Hopefully the annoying mosquito that was apparently buzzing in the microphone for the first part of last week is not there at the moment. My phone is telling me things that are not related to trivia, so that's okay. And my webcam is telling me that I really need to trim my beard. Should get some sort of Movember thing happening. Simone is having a cup of tea but had red wine earlier. Okay. It's an interesting order to do things in, but whatever floats your boat. Hello, Kim, Meg, Paul, and Jan. I don't think I ever got it clarified if you guys are all playing together or not. Simone says, I'm going back to my usual trivia tomorrow night. So is that like a pub trivia thing that's happening again? Am I hosting in person again? No, I don't know if that's basically going to happen. Ah, nice one, Kim. Good to hear you're all playing together. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll keep doing this. Probably for a while yet, I'll say. But I don't know when the pub thing is coming back. Probably not anytime soon, I would say. Maybe we should have a mission out to your pub, Simone. Get all the virtual Aussie pub quiz people to turn up en masse and form a super team. They'll never know what hit them. Right, so it's 7:34, nearly time to start. Jill, Chris, and Joan playing together. That's what we like to hear. Simone is in Muswellbrook. I'll ask the host if he can live stream if you like. Was that tomorrow night, Wednesday? Yeah, I can probably tune in. It's probably not something we really want to spring on unexpected on a trivia host though, especially if it's the first night back. Right, speaking of springing, let's go through the rules or how this is all going to work. This is, as you might expect, regular pub trivia, except we are not in a pub because of COVID. Trivia is back in Port Macquarie everywhere, says Kim. Well, maybe I'm behind the times. I think the issues with my pub trivia are not strictly just COVID. It's been going for about 15 years and it was getting pretty painful to organize the round robin of hosts and stuff. So anyway, they'll probably say no because they can't check if people are cheating. Yeah, that's true, Simone. That's fair enough. I could be Googling the answers. Right. Anyway, the way this is going to work is we're going to have 3 rounds. The first round is going to be 20 questions of relatively easy trivia. Then I'll give you the answers. Then the second round is 20 questions of less easy trivia, and I'll give you the answers. And then we have round 3, which is our difficult / silly / trick question round, which is only 10 questions, and I'll give you the answers to that. And then we'll have a couple of Who Am I questions, which you can use as a tiebreaker if you want, and that'll be the end. This isn't the type of trivia where you have to be the quickest person in the comments, but you are welcome to post your score in the comments. And you're just basically playing against yourself or against the quiz. So keep note of your own answers and check them off when I give you the answers at the end of the round, and then you'll know how well you went. Feel free to share your scores in the YouTube chat. And feel free to subscribe to the Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz page on Facebook if you want to be informed of future events. Done. Housekeeping done. 7:36. So let's get started. It's going to be slightly USA heavy this week, I've got to say, for fairly obvious reasons. But anyway, here we go. Speaking of which, round one, question one. Hello, Nat. Hello, Narelle and Stephen. Round one, question one. Joe Biden is the new president-elect of the USA. Who will be vice president under Biden? Round one, question one. Joe Biden is the new president-elect of the USA. I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't know if you've seen the news at all. Who will be the vice president under Biden? I'll have a first name and last name for that one, I think. It's been all over the news. I'm sure you've noticed it. Round one, question two. Tony Stark is the alter ego of which Marvel superhero? Question two, Tony Stark, the alter ego of which Marvel superhero? That's Tony Stark, S-T-A-R-K. Question three. Which fairy tale includes the words, "I smell the blood of an Englishman"? Round one, question three. Which fairy tale includes the words, "I smell the blood of an Englishman"? Speaking of Englishmen, where's elated Matt? He's not here. He's probably cooking pizza and drinking beer. Question four. What is the literal translation into English of the French phrase faux pas? That's F-A-U-X space P-A-S, faux pas. Question four. What is the literal translation into English of the French phrase faux pas? Question five. Ikebana is the Japanese art of what? Question five. Ikebana, I-K-E-B-A-N-A, Ikebana is the Japanese art of what? Yeah, going back to what I was saying before about my regular pub gig. It's been going for about 15 years, and we have a sort of regular cycle of hosts going through it. It's not just me every week anymore because I frankly don't have the time to write a full round every week. And it's been getting more and more difficult to get people to do it, and sort of numbers haven't been all that huge over the last few months before COVID, I would say. So it seems to be sort of dwindling away. It'd be nice if the pub would pull their finger out and put on a commercial host so we could all play, pay a couple of bucks and have someone turn up with questions every week and we can all have a go, but it doesn't look like the pub's going to do that. So yeah, I'm not sure if/when I will go back to doing that gig, but it's had a pretty good run. Certainly provided me with a lot of questions for this quiz. Speaking of which, question 6, what is the name of the musical written by Ben Elton based on the songs of the rock band Queen? Oh, I'm having deja vu and I went too far down the thing. Question 6, what is the name of the musical written by Ben Elton based on the songs of the rock band Queen? Oh, I haven't asked that question before, so fair enough. Question 7, which Grand Prix motorcycle racer had the nickname the Wollongong Whiz? Question 7. Which Grand Prix motorcycle racer? There's too many W's and R's in this question. Which Grand Prix motorcycle racer had the nickname the Wollongong Whiz? Question 8. Which forbidden dance, beginning with P for Peter, featured in the film Strictly Ballroom? Question 8. Which forbidden dance, beginning with P for Peter, featured in the film Strictly Ballroom? Forbidden Steps. They're doing Forbidden Steps. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I'm being messaged. Is it quiz people? No. Good. It's hockey people. Speaking of which, played hockey last night. Quarterfinal. Played against the number 1 team in the league. Beat them 7-2. All right. What have we got to? Question 9. By what more common name do we know Georgios Kyriakos Panayotou? Wow. Question 9. By what more common name do we know Georgios Kyriakos Panayotou? I'm going to spell Georgios is spelled as you'd expect. Kyriakos is Kyriakos. Kyriakos. And the surname is Panayiotou. Panayotou. So by what more common name do we know Georgios Kyriakos Panayotou? I'm really not confident about my pronunciation of that last word. Let you think about that one for a minute. Try and unmangle my pronunciation of it. I should have had my liqueur straight instead of soiling it with Coke. Anyway, question 10. According to the nursery rhyme, Tuesday's child is what? You know the nursery rhyme, Monday's child is blah, blah, blah. Tuesday's child is blah, blah, blah. According to the nursery rhyme, Tuesday's child is what? Question 11. Phobos and Deimos are the 2 moons of which planet? Question 11. Phobos and Deimos are the 2 moons of which planet? Jill says our main club is not back yet in Brisbane. Yeah, it's interesting to see the different stages people are going back. I guess Victoria has suddenly reopened, which will please my sister. She lives down on the border on the Victorian side. So she might be able to get up here for Christmas, which will be nice. Question 12. Who wrote the novels that were the basis for the Godfather films? Question 12. Who wrote the novels that were the basis for the Godfather films? I'm going to bake him a muffin he can't refuse. Ridiculously long films, but very good. So question 12, who wrote the novels that were the basis for the Godfather films? Question 13, which is the only book of the Christian Old Testament with a 3-letter name? Question 13, which is the only book of the Christian Old Testament with a 3-letter name? We have a quick check of the Facebook page. All seems to be going well. What are we up to? Question 14. According to the Kinks in 1970, who walked like a woman and talked like a man? Question 14. According to the Kinks in 1970, who walked like a woman and talked like a man? I'm trying to figure out why you are known as the Verbinator, Simone. Or is that just your trivia name, like the Terminator, but the Verbinator? Fair enough. One of my favorite quiz team names is very politically incorrect, but it's Quizlamic Extremists, which has not gone down particularly well when I've used it. But anyway, what are we up to? Question 15. Pierrot's team would be, we don't know the answer. I did see one, the team name was, we thought this was speed dating, which I thought was very clever. Fair enough, Simone. All right, question 15. Which ocean is Christmas Island in? Question 15. Which ocean is Christmas Island in? We've had a Christmas Island question before. That's usually which island was discovered on December 25th, etc. My other team name was Scoregasms. Haven't heard that one before. I've heard Trivia Newton-John. That's a very common one. Pierrot says it's probably the Pacific Ocean. Very good. Very good. Question 16. Which two actors have played Obi-Wan Kenobi in films? What the heck? You can have a point each. Question 16. Which two actors have played Obi-Wan Kenobi in films? And to avoid any confusion with animated whatever, I'm just going to say the live-action films. Narelle has a team name. The team next to us is cheating. Very good. I have actually seen quite a few people cheating at trivia, even in pubs. I really don't get it. Like you hand out the picture round at the beginning of the night and then you go to get a drink or whatever. And as you're walking back to the stage to host the questions, you see people looking at the picture round and like Googling the paintings or whatever it is on their phone. It's like, what is the point? Right. Question 17. The first fleet of Australia left from which British port? Wow, is that a first round question? Anyway, question 17. The first fleet of Australia left from which British port? No idea. That's a good name for a team, Darrell. All right, question 18, nearly at the end of round one. Which annual motorsport event is held every June or July in the grounds of a country house in West Sussex in England, owned by the Earl of March? Question 18. Which annual motorsport event is held every June or July in the grounds of a country house in West Sussex in England, owned by the Earl of March? Okay, we're getting fairly obscure towards the end of the first round, but it is, towards the end of the round. So there was a team at my regular called Hoof-Hearted. Oh. I thought there was a pun on half-hearted, but now that I've said it out loud, I realize what you made me say. Very good. Hoof-Hearted. hoof-hearted. Question 19. By what name, I should say, by what other name, was the P&O cruise liner the Pacific Princess more commonly known as from 1977 to 1986? Question 19. By what other name was the P&O cruise liner the Pacific Princess more commonly known as from 1977 to 1986? And question 20. Please correctly spell the word croissant, as in the French pastry. So in Australia, we tend to call them croissants, but I think they're pronounced croissant. So please correctly spell the word croissant, as in the French pastry. I think Americans call them crescent rolls, but I would like the French spelling, please, for question 20. I'll give you a minute to think about those. And while we're talking about pub trivia nights, I'll tell you a story of what happened once. We did have a regular host at my local. We had like a paid commercial host who would come along and host every week. That was very good. And my team used to do pretty well. I think there was like $100 cash prize. And I think we won it like 11 weeks in a row at one point. And anyway, this was on, I think, maybe a Tuesday night. And the host said to us, hey, you guys should come to one of my other gigs. I played just down the mountain at one of the other small towns nearby on a Wednesday night. You guys would do really well. We thought, we sort of looked around the table and said, does anyone else want to have a go? So we decided we would. So the next night we all carpooled and traipsed on down the mountain to the little town, went to the pub, had our meal, got our drinks, whatever, sitting at the table. Up comes the host. Hey, it's our regular host. Fine. Starts asking the trivia questions. The same questions as the Tuesday night at our regular. And he'd invited us to this, what we thought was another completely different quiz, but it turns out to be exactly the same night. He just has one set of questions that he uses at every venue each night of that week. And it was so bizarre because we were like, well, we know all the answers. Even the ones we didn't know the answers to, we now know because you told us the answers last night. And he was doing a Who Am I at the, between the rounds, you do a couple of Who Am I's for free drinks. And he got like halfway through the first sentence. I was so tempted to just shout out the answer that I knew it was. But I think we probably wouldn't have made it out of that town alive because, anyway, it was a very strange situation. We weren't really sure how to handle it. Do we just answer the ones that we got right the previous night, or do we get a perfect round, or, what do we do? Anyway, that's the end of round one. Let me know if you need any of those repeated. 70 plus teams at Carina Leagues. Wow. We don't get that in my local. We get about 5 teams with a total of about 30 people, I'd say. All crammed into the smallest room in the pub for some reason. All right, Narelle would like question 10 repeated. Question 10. According to the nursery rhyme, Tuesday's child is what? I'll give you another couple of seconds on those. Question 9. Yes. Don't make me pronounce question 9 again. Okay, let's go through the answers to round 1. I guess everyone's happy with those. All right, round 1, question 1. Joe Biden is the new president-elect of the USA. Who will be the vice president under Biden? That will be Kamala Harris. Kamala space Harris. And I think you need both names to get that one right. Kamala Harris. Question 2. Tony Stark is the alter ego of which Marvel superhero? That is Iron Man. Doesn't have any superpowers. He's just rich. He's a bit like Batman. Question 3. Which fairy tale includes the words, "I smell the blood of an Englishman"? Well, that's Jack and the Beanstalk, but it's also known as Jack the Giant Killer. Either of those is fine. Question 4. What is the literal translation of the French phrase faux pas? Well, it's literally false step. So you see on the wings of planes it says "ne pas," which means do not step. Pas means step and faux means false, so it's false step. Question 5. Ikebana is the Japanese art of what? It is flower arranging. The Japanese art of flower arranging. I'm assuming Pierrot got that one. Question 6. What is the name of the musical written by Ben Elton based on the songs of the rock band Queen? That is We Will Rock You. We Will Rock You. Question 7. Which Grand Prix motorcycle racer had the nickname the Wollongong Whiz? That was Wayne Gardner. His son is actually doing pretty well in, I think it's Moto 2 at the moment. Anyway, question 8. Which forbidden dance, beginning with P for Peter, featured in the film Strictly Ballroom? That was the Pasadoble. Pasadoble, the Pasadoble. Illegal steps. Question 9. By what more common name do we know Georgios Kyriakos Panagiotou? Well, you can probably figure it out. It's a Greek name, and the first name is George. Famous Greek George people, George Michael. So the answer to question 9 is George Michael. Question 10. According to the nursery rhyme, Tuesday's child is what? Well, I happen to have the wiki page open for the folk song nursery rhyme. It's Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. And so on and so forth. So Tuesday's child is full of grace. Question 11. Phobos and Deimos are the two moons of which planet? It's Mars. Question 12. Who wrote the novels that were the basis for the Godfather films? I'll be impressed if you got this one. It's Mario Puzo. Puzo. Mario Puzo. Question 13. Narelle had the rhyme in reverse. There are some different versions of it, but they change further down. I think the first two are pretty much always the same in the different versions on the wiki page. What were we up to? Question 12 was Mario Puzo. Question 13, which is the only book of the Christian Old Testament with a 3-letter name? That is Job, spelled J-O-B, Job, but I think it's pronounced Job. Question 14. According to the Kinks in 1970, who walked like a woman and talked like a man? That is L-O-L-A, Lola. Question 14, Lola. I'm a man, and so is Lola. Question 15. Which ocean is Christmas Island in? It is in the Indian Ocean. Question 16. Which two actors have played Obi-Wan Kenobi in films? And I did specify the live-action films, just in case there's some weird voiceover stuff going on in the animated ones. It is Sir Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor. 1 point each. Sir Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor. Question 17. The first fleet of Australia left from which British port? They left Portsmouth. Or Portsmouth, if you spell it out, but Portsmouth. Question 18. Which annual motorsport event is held in the grounds of a country house in West Sussex in England owned by the Earl of March? That is the Goodwood Festival of Speed. It's held in the grounds of Goodwood Manor, and it's called the Goodwood Festival of Speed. They do a hill climb up the driveway of the manor house, essentially. Question 19. By what name was the P&O cruise liner the Pacific Princess more commonly known from 1977 to 1986? Well, it seems like a strange set of years, but that's the time that the TV show The Love Boat was being made. And it was filmed on the Pacific Princess. So the Pacific Princess was known as the Love Boat. And if, like me, you grew up in Bermuda, you know every flippin' word of that TV show because they play it continuously on the national television channel. Question 20. Please correctly spell the word croissant, as in the French pastry. That is CROISSANTS. Am I going to try and do that all phonetic with the NATO phonetic alphabet? Why not? Charlie, Romeo, Oscar, Indigo or India. What do we decide? Sierra, Sierra, Alpha, Nike, Tango, Sierra. I think I did okay there. Anyway, that's how you spell it. CROISSANTS. And that brings us to the end of round one. Let me know how you went in the comments while I do a little bit of Facebook housekeeping, making sure no one's been abandoned on the page. Where is the page gone here? Parrot got 8. Not too bad. Kim got 12. Nikki got 14. Davey got 12. Simone got 16 from the Verbinator. All right, not too bad. Bit of a spread of scores, which is not too surprising. Oh, why is this window gone all weird? There it is. Playing with Joan and Chris. Jill got 18. Narelle and Stephen both on 15, but of course different answers. You can do it, Stephen. I believe in you. All right, let's start round 2, which is a double bonus geography round. No, not really. And Peter got 15 in round 1. Pretty good. All right. Round 2, question 1. The Australian of the Year for 2020 is James Muecke, Muecke. For what is he known? Or for what did he become Australian of the Year? So round 2, question 1. The Australian of the Year for 2020 is James Muecke, Muecke. Don't know how you pronounce it. What is his role, or for what is he known, or for what did he get awarded the Australian of the Year? You got to be pretty specific, I say. Sort of generic answer is not going to do it. It's a specific thing that he has done. Question 2. Which country, or what is the modern name of the country that was called Siam until 1939? SIAM. Question 2. What is the modern name of the country that was called Siam until 1939? My phone is buzzing because I bet my phone is buzzing because it's telling me Peter's message, which I've already got. I've already seen. I don't know why my phone has to tell me it again. Exactly what's happened. Good. Question 3. How many tiles does a player start with in a game of Scrabble? Question 3. How many tiles does each player start with in the game of Scrabble? Nope. Can hear the sounds of the pitter-patter of enormous teenage feet and slamming cupboard doors while they look to strip the house of all its food like locusts. Question 4. Which TV quiz show, a spin-off of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, began airing in 2009 and claims to be Australia's longest-running quiz show? Really? Longer than Sound of the Century? Anyway, question 4. Which TV quiz show, a spin-off of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, began airing in 2009 and claims to be Australia's longest-running quiz show? Somebody has commented on the link. Gail and Lance got 16 in the first round. Pretty good. And now I've lost the thing. Okay. What are we up to now? Question 5. What name was given to the fad, which peaked around 2009, of lying face down with arms by the side in an unusual or incongruous location, usually with the intention of being photographed? Question 5. What name was given to the fad, which peaked around 2009, of lying face down with arms by the side in unusual or incongruous locations, usually with the intention of being photographed? Question 6. In which film of the Star Wars franchise did Darth Vader reveal that he was Luke Skywalker's father? Spoiler, sorry. Question 6. In which film of the Star Wars franchise did Darth Vader reveal to Luke, I should say, that he was Luke Skywalker's father? So which film does he say the line, "Luke, I am your father"? That was a very bad Darth Vader impersonation. But in which film did he reveal to Luke that he was Luke Skywalker's father? I'm saying to Luke in case in one of the other forwards and backwards prequels and sequels it became known. Yeah. But in which film did Darth Vader reveal to Luke that he was Luke Skywalker's father? I think I've made that clear now. Question 7. Which of these is the first name of the greatest number of US presidents? So this is multiple choice. So which one of these names is the first name of the most US presidents? Okay, question 7. Which of these is the first name of the greatest number of US presidents? Is it A, James, B, George, or C, John? Question 7. Which of these is the first name of the greatest number of US presidents? Is it A, James, B, George, or C, John? Slightly topical question, I guess. It's not Donald, that's for sure. I guess I'll give you a minute to think about that one. Tot up your mental list of US presidents. That'd probably make a good round 3 question. How many presidents are there? How many names are there? The US presidents that have a unique first name, like presumably Donald and Barack, how many of those unique names are there? Interesting. Be an interesting round 3 question. Anyway, question 8. Prague is the capital city of which European country? Hey, look, a geography question. Question 8. Prague is the capital city of which European country? Prague, Prague. Ooh, Grover, that's another good one. Grover Cleveland. Trying to think of all the US presidents now and not doing very well. So question 8 was Prague is the capital city of which European country? Question 9, in the film of the same name, what kind of shop was the Little Shop of Horrors? Question 9, in the film of the same name, what kind of shop was The Little Shop of Horrors? Question 10. In Pokemon, what is the name of the short, stocky, yellow rodent with electrical powers? I know, it's pop culture. Question 10. In Pokemon, what is the name of the short, stocky, yellow rodent with electrical powers? There could be many, says Pierrot. Well, the base one, the one that isn't evolved into the other ones. The famous one. I'm going to find it out by getting the... Ha! It has Pokedex number 25. There you go. There's the definitive answer. So what are we up to? Question 10. In Pokemon, what is the name of the short, stocky, yellow rodent with electrical powers, which is Pokedex number 25? That's mostly to make Pierrot happy. It's probably the most famous Pokemon. Anyway, question 11. In Chinese culture, the act of deep respect shown by kneeling and bowing so low as to touch the head to the ground is called a what? Question 11. In Chinese culture, the act of deep respect shown by kneeling and bowing so low as to touch the head to the ground is called a what? There is a specific, I'm assuming, Chinese word for that act, that motion, and I'd like to know what that is. So question 11, in Chinese culture, the act of deep respect shown by kneeling and bowing so low as to touch the head to the ground is called a what? Question 12. In which film does Shakira play the voice of a Thompson's gazelle? Question 12. In which film does Shakira play the voice of a Thompson's gazelle? Question 13 of round 2. What Portuguese word is used for the extensive slums in Brazil, for example, housing over 20% of the population of Rio de Janeiro? Question 13. What Portuguese word is used for the extensive slums in Brazil, for example, housing over 20% of the population of Rio de Janeiro? How's your Portuguese? Bueno. Is bueno the same in Portuguese? Is good. It is good, in fact. No bueno, says Pierrot. All right, question 14. The TV sitcom Dad's Army was set during which war? Question 14. The TV sitcom Dad's Army was set during which war? I'm nearly out of my drink. Even though I complained about not liking it very much, I can't seem to stop drinking it. It is very sweet, though. Probably about a kilo of sugar in that glass. Question 15. In July 2015, Kraft Foods completed its merger with which other food industry giant? Question 15. In July 2015, Kraft Foods completed its merger with which other food industry giant? I think they're now the third biggest food company in the world. Who did they merge with to make that mega corporation? Question 16. Yo-Yo Ma is best known for playing which musical instrument? Question 16. Yo-Yo Ma, that's Y-O space M-A. Yo-Yo Ma is best known for playing which musical instrument? All right, we're getting towards the end of round 2. Question 17. It's quite a wordy question. Chapter 6 of the 1795 novel A Voyage to Botany Bay, sometimes known as A Voyage to New South Wales, contains the first print reference to which legendary ghost ship? That should be a round 3 question. Anyway, question 17, chapter 6 of the 1795 novel A Voyage to Botany Bay, sometimes known as A Voyage to New South Wales, contains the first print reference to which legendary ghost ship? Question 18. A bit of a run of pop culture at the end here. Question 18. Which 1967 Australian novel and 1975 film with the same title focus on the disappearance of a party of schoolgirls? Question 18. Which 1967 Australian novel and 1975 film with the same title focus on the disappearance of a party of schoolgirls? Question 19. According to the hit single by the Charlie Daniels Band, where did the devil go down to? And what instrument did he play while there? 1 point each. Why not? Question 19. According to the hit single by the Charlie Daniels Band, where did the devil go down to? And what instrument did he play while there? Okay, I admit the end of round 2 is being a little obscure. But it's the same for everyone. So, question 19, according to the hit single by the Charlie Daniels Band, where did the devil go down to and what instrument did he play while there? For 1 point each. And question 20, for half a point each, please name the 4 main human characters in the animated TV series Scooby-Doo. Question 20, for half a point each, please name the 4 main human characters in the animated series Scooby-Doo. Yes, Scooby-Doo is the dog, of course, and Scrappy-Doo is the other small dog. They drive around in the mystery machine. Yes, Simone, 1 point each in question 19. So 1 point for where did the devil go down to, and 1 point for what instrument did he play while there. And question 20 was for half a point each, name the 4 main human characters in the animated TV series Scooby-Doo. And if you need any questions repeated, let me know. I think Joan would like question 1 repeated. What am I doing? Oh, my scroll's going the wrong way. That's interesting. Question 1 was, the Australian of the Year for 2020 is James Muecke, M-U-E-C-K-E. For what is he known, or for what did he win the Australian of the Year 2020 award? And you have to be fairly specific. Let me know if you need any others repeated. There is a message on the Facebook page. Peter says he missed question 18. Question 18 was, which 1967 Australian novel and 1975 film with the same title focus on the disappearance of a party of schoolgirls? All right. If you need any more of those repeated, let me know. Otherwise, I'll give you 18 seconds until I start reading out the answers. Is anybody counting to 18 in their head? Okay, let's go through the answers to round two. Round two, question one was, the Australian of the Year for 2020 is James Muecki. What is his role, or for what did he win the Australian of the Year award? He is an eye surgeon and a blindness prevention pioneer. So if you said anything like eye surgeon or preventing blindness or anything like that, you know the point. I guess he's following the footsteps of Fred Hollows to some extent. Question two, which country was called Siam until 1939? That is Thailand. Question three, how many tiles does a player start with in a game of Scrabble? They start with 7 tiles. Question four, which TV quiz show, a spin-off of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, began airing in 2009 and claims to be Australia's longest-running quiz show? That is Millionaire Hot Seat. Millionaire Hot Seat. Question five, what name was given to the fad which peaked around 2009? That's question 5. Did I say 5? Anyway, of lying face down with arms by the side in unusual or incongruous locations, usually with the intention of being photographed. That is called planking. And I think it's a very embarrassing way to die, which happened to quite a few people who planked on things and then fell off them or got hit by trains or whatever. But anyway, it's planking. Question 6, in which film of the Star Wars franchise did Darth Vader reveal to Luke that he was Luke Skywalker's father? That was in The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire Strikes Back. It's impossible. Question 7, which of these is the first name of the greatest number of US presidents? Was it A, James, B, George, or C, John? The answer is A, James. There were 5 US presidents with the first name James, or 6 if you include Jimmy Carter. John had 4 and George had 3. Question 8. Prague is the capital city of which European country? That is the Czech Republic. Prague is the capital of the Czech Republic. Question 9. In the film of the same name, what kind of shop was the Little Shop of Horrors? It was a florist. It was a florist or a flower shop, I guess you could say. Question 10. In Pokemon, what is the name of the short, stocky, yellow rodent with electrical powers? That is Pokedex number 25. Thank you, Pierrot. It is Pikachu. 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 It's got to be the most famous of all the Pokemon, I would say. Even if you don't know Pokemon, you've probably heard of Pikachu. Question 11. In Chinese culture, the act of deep respect shown by kneeling and bowing so low as to touch the head to the ground is called a what? It's called a kowtow. Kowtow, a kowtow. And we still say, I'm not going to kowtow to you or your demands or whatever. But the answer is kowtow. Question 12. In which film does Shakira play the voice of a Thompson's gazelle? That is the film Zootopia. Question 13. What Portuguese word is used for the extensive slums in Brazil, for example, housing over 20% of the population of Rio de Janeiro? They're known as the favelas. Favelas, favelas. They were quite a big deal during the Olympics, etc. People were concerned about the favelas and the crime and stuff going on in there. I can't imagine that they're doing very well with the whole COVID thing. Anyway, question 14. The TV sitcom Dad's Army was set during which war? That was World War II, or the Second World War. Question 15. Sale of the Century ran from July 1980 to November 2001. That's what I thought. Sale of the Century ran for ages. I don't know how. Anyway, maybe they mean it's the longest running current quiz show because Sale of the Century is not running anymore. But anyway, it's on their webpage anyway. What are we up to now? Question 15. In July 2015, Kraft Foods completed its merger with which other food industry giant? That was Heinz, Heinz, famous for their baked beans, among other things. So it's now Kraft Heinz Foods. Question 16. Yo-Yo Ma is best known for playing which musical instrument? The cello. Question 17. Chapter 6, etc., etc., blah, blah. Which legendary ghost ship? The Flying Dutchman. Which I thought was a train, but that's the Flying Scotsman, isn't it? Anyway, the answer to question 17 is the Flying Dutchman. Question 18. Which 1967 Australian novel and 1975 film with the same title focus on the disappearance of a party of schoolgirls? That is Picnic at Hanging Rock. Not including Temptation. Don't know what Temptation is. Was that a spin-off of Sale of the Century? Rings a bell. Picnic at Hanging Rock. Question 19. According to the hit single by the Charlie Daniels Band, where did the devil go down to? And what instrument did he play while there? Well, I think the title of the song is The Devil Went Down to Georgia. So for 1 point, you say Georgia. And what did he play there? He played the fiddle. So the devil went down to Georgia and played the fiddle. Temptation inspired Sale of the Century. There you go. Australian TV quiz show history. I don't watch a lot of TV, I've got to say. As I said before, the only quiz show I really like is The Chase because of the density of questions in it. And in fact, Millionaire is... Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I think, is the most annoying quiz show because they ask you a question and then they spend 15 minutes flashing the lights and running ad breaks and repeating the question 100 times before they actually get you to do the answer. Anyway, don't get me started. Question 20. For half a point each, name the 4 main human characters in the animated TV series Scooby-Doo. Well, as I said, Scooby's the dog, Scrappy's the little dog. But the characters, and first names only, I think is fine. We don't really know their surnames in the show. But it's Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, Velma Dinkley, and Norville Shaggy Rogers. So if you said Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy, you can have 2 points. And that's the end of round 2. Let me know how you went. While I refresh the page. Pierrot got 9 points. Did better in round 2 than he did in round 1. Galen Lance got 16 in round 2. That's pretty good. 31 so far. I do vaguely remember a quiz show called Temptation, but I can't remember what it was about. I also remember Perfect Match with the little robot who would give you your love factor or something. Love quotient. Anyway, that's a very long time ago. Pierrot got 9, Davey got 14.5, Nikki got 12. Simone is telling us that it looks like a mature Daphne with Velma's brains. Fair enough. Kim got 13.5. Jill with Joan and Chris got 20. Wow, that's pretty good. I think we didn't have that many bonus points, but did pretty good. And Simone got 16. And Peter got 13.5. Righto. So let us move on, as is traditional. Merrill got 18, Stephen got 15. You can still pull it out in the third round. Dexter was the name of the robot. That's right. And what was the thing that he used to say on Perfect Match? It was like your love quotient or something. He would work out how closely the two people matched based on their questions. Man, that was a long time ago. I must have genuinely been a child when I was watching that. I'll have to look that up later. All right. Here we go. Round 3. I'm sure you know round 3 is our tricky, silly trick question, very difficult, obscure, cripplingly difficult round. So don't feel too bad if you don't get any points. If you do get 1 point, you're doing pretty well. Peter says, Temptation was basically the same as Sale of the Century. I did Sale in 1992 and Hot Seat in 2010. We got more famous quizzing people. We got Simone, who was on Mastermind. We got Peter was on 2 quiz shows as well. I think Simone had been on some other ones as well. Nice one. How did you go, Peter? Let us know how you went. Compatibility rating? Simone did Sale in 2001. Well, we've all been on TV, haven't we? That's pretty good. Right. I haven't done any of the quizzes, and I don't think I would because I don't really want to be on TV is the short answer. Pierrot says, I'm world famous in my area. Is that what world famous means? Can you be world famous in one area? All right, round 3, question 1. It's a little bit president-y this week for obvious reasons. I see, that's the joke. Very good. All right, round 3, question 1. When Queen Elizabeth II began her reign, on the 6th of February 1952, who was the President of the United States? Round 3, question 1. When Queen Elizabeth II began her reign on 6th of February 1952, who was the President of the United States? On Daytime Temptation. Compatibility rating? I'm sure it was compatibility quotient or something. Narelle was on New Faces as part of a dance ensemble. Well, there you go. Hosted by Greg Evans. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm lost in a reverie of ancient quiz shows. Compatibility. What did he say? Used to work out the compatibility score, really? There you go. They just say it's compatibility. Anyway. Right. Let's get back to round 3. Question 1 was Queen Elizabeth, who was the president when she became the queen. Question 2, which US president was the first to be born in a hospital? And there's a round 3 question for you. Round 3, question 2, which US president was the first to be born in a hospital? Cameron Daddo was the host for a while as well. So question 1 was, who was the president when Queen Elizabeth II began her reign? Question 2 was, which US president was the first to be born in a hospital? And question 3, what food did President George Bush Sr. say his mother could no longer make him eat now that he was president? Question 3, which food did President George Bush Sr. say that his mother could no longer make him eat now that he was president? He actually voiced his disdain for this particular food many times during history. It became a bit of a running joke. But he particularly said at one point, now that he was president, his mum couldn't force him to eat that food anymore. What food was it? All right, question 4. Rufus is the name of a hawk stolen in 2012, then returned to its owner, making headlines across the world? Rufus is a working hawk. What is his job? Question 4. Rufus is the name of a hawk that was stolen in 2012 and then returned to its owner, making headlines across the world. Rufus is a working hawk. What is his job? He still does this job, as far as I'm aware. Question 5. Casanova was a famous Italian adventurer, author, and ladies' man. What was his first name? I think we use the word Lothario to describe Casanova. But what was his first name? Question 5. Casanova was a famous Italian adventurer, author, and ladies' man, to put it politely. What was his first name? Peter says he won on both occasions and also won Shafted, which I'm guessing is another game, but he's a bit rusty these days. Wow. Must have done pretty well winning on sale. Did you get the prize showcase, or is that Wheel of Fortune? Man, all these old TV shows are jumbled up in my brain. Question 6. Which major Australian historical event occurred on the 17th of December, 1967? Simone says she remembers Shafted vaguely. Question 6. Which major Australian historical event occurred on the 17th of December, 1967? Question 7. What was the name of the Granada TV series that followed the lives of 14 British children, checking in on them every 7 years from 1964 until the present day? Question 7. What was the name of the Granada TV series that followed the lives of 14 British children, checking in on them every 7 years from 1964 until the present day? I think the most recent film or series was broadcast in 2019, so it's still going. So what's the name of that series, or what was the name of the first film? Bear with me for a second. Right. Question 8. In terms of number of fatalities compared to number of people attempting to climb it, which mountain is the most deadly? And for this, we'll only take mountains that are over 8,000 feet. So, proper mountains. So in terms of number of fatalities compared to number of people attempting to climb it, which mountain is the most deadly? So we're looking for the ratio or the percentage, if you like, the percentage of summit attempts that have resulted in deaths. It's a slightly morbid ratio, but based upon that ratio, which mountain of the several mountains that are over 8,000 meters, 8,000 meters, yes, which one of those is the most deadly? Hope that makes sense. I think I explained it. Question 9. One of Picasso's most famous works, completed in 1937, was painted in response to the German bombing of the Spanish village from which the painting takes its name. What is the name of the village and the painting? So question 9, one of Picasso's most famous works, completed in 1937, was painted in response to the German bombing of the Spanish village from which the painting takes its name. What is the name of the village and the painting? I always wonder with shows like Perfect Match, if you're under, surely you can't be under any obligation to actually see the other person that you get selected. You know, it's all just a setup, right? It's all just a game. Anyway, don't know why that popped into my head. Question 10. The last question. Question 10. It was widely reported in the USA, in the wake of the US president election result being announced, that fireworks were lit across the UK celebrating Biden's victory. But what were the fireworks actually for? Question 10. It was widely reported across the USA in the wake of the US presidential election result being announced that fireworks were lit across the UK celebrating Biden's victory. There were fireworks being lit, but what were they actually being lit for? Simone says, I think you have to go on the date. I can't remember what used to happen. Did they check in afterwards and see how things went? Was there any kind of follow-up? I'm sure there'll be episodes of Perfect Match on YouTube for me to catch up on, see what I've missed. All right, so question 10 was, it's widely reported in the USA in the wake of the US presidential election result that fireworks were lit across the UK celebrating Biden's victory. But what were the fireworks actually for? Producers ask you questions when you get back. Gosh. All right, so that brings us to the end of round 3. Let me know if you need any of those repeated. We did get a little distracted by 80s and early 90s game shows, but that's all right. It's all good fun. Okay, if nobody needs any of those repeated and you're all confident in your answers, as confident as you can be in round 3, then we will go through the answers. And then we'll have a couple of Who Am I's, and then that'll be it. So round 3, question 1 was, when Queen Elizabeth began her reign, who was the President of the United States? It was Harry S. Truman. It's meaning that she has seen out the presidencies of Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, George Herbert Walker Bush, Clinton, George W. Bush, Obama, and Trump. Pretty good. Anyway, the answer is Harry S. Truman. Question 2. Which US president was the first to be born in a hospital? Interesting question. The answer is Jimmy Carter. He even says it on his wiki page. He was first to be born in a hospital, Jimmy Carter. Question 3. Which food did President George Bush Sr. say his mother could no longer make him eat now that he was president? It was broccoli. He doesn't like broccoli. Fair enough. Question 4. Rufus is the name of a hawk stolen in 2012, then returned to its owner, making headlines across the world. Rufus is a working hawk. What is his job? He is the official bird scarer at Wimbledon tennis courts. It's his job to scare away pigeons from the tennis courts, which he has been doing for over 15 years. And I think in 2012, he was stolen during Wimbledon, like the big lawn tennis tournament, and it got worldwide attention. He's been doing it for over 15 years. He took over from the previous official bird scarer which was another hawk named Hamish. So if he said scaring birds away from Wimbledon, anything like that, that's fine. I don't think he kills the pigeons, he just scares them away. Question 5. Casanova was a famous Italian adventurer, author, and ladies' man, to say the least. What was his first name? It was Giacomo. Giacomo. Giacomo Casanova. Question 6. Which Australian major historical event occurred on the 17th of December 1967? That was the disappearance of Harold Holt, the Prime Minister. Pretty major historical event. The Prime Minister vanishes. So yeah, the answer to question 6 is the disappearance of Harold Holt, who then had a swimming centre named after him. Anyway, question 7. What was the name of the Granada TV series that followed the lives of 14 British children, checking in on them every 7 years from 1964 until the present day? It's been described as the greatest achievement in recorded history, in television history. Anyway, it was called, the original series was called 7 Up. It's also known as the Up series. And like I say, the latest episode, 63 Up, was broadcast in 2019. It's actually, I haven't ever seen it. I've seen the trailers for a few of the years, and it does look like an amazing project. Checking in on 14 people from pretty broad sections of UK society, and checking in on them every 7 years to see sort of what phase of life they're up to and how things are going, all the way up to, I guess they're 63 now, and I guess in another 7 years they'll be 70. Interesting. Anyway, on SBS by demand, says Nikki. There you go. She's either talking about 7 Up or A Perfect Match. Question 8. In terms of the number of fatalities compared to the number of people attempting to climb it, which mountain is the most deadly? Well, Everest has a ratio of 1 in 4.3. So for every 4.3 attempts to summit it, results in 1 death. K2 has a 1 in 5 ratio, but Annapurna has a ratio of 1 in 3. 32% of all summit attempts have resulted in death for Annapurna. So Annapurna is the most deadly mountain in terms of summits to fatalities, or summit attempts to fatalities, I should say. Question 9. One of Picasso's most famous works, completed in 1937, was painted in response to the German bombing of the Spanish village from which the painting takes its name. What is the name of the village and the painting? That is Guernica. 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 And question 10. It was widely reported in the USA, in the wake of the US presidential election result being announced, that fireworks across the UK were celebrating Biden's victory. What were the fireworks actually for? They were for Guy Fawkes Night, also known as Bonfire Night, which happens every year, the weekend after the 5th of November, celebrating the failed gunpowder plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament. If you said Guy Fawkes Night, or just Bonfire Night, as it's more commonly known, it's got nothing to do with the Americans. Why would they light fireworks in the UK celebrating? Anyway, that's American media for you. Peter has let me know already he got 6 in the 3rd round, which is pretty good. And he wonders if a Chinese submarine was involved in number 6. I think it was thought to be a Japanese submarine at the time, but even so, I think that's a conspiracy theory. Jill got, with Joan and Chris, 6. Nikki got 2. Simone got 5. Kim got 4. I thought Pierre said he got 11 then, but he got 1 with an exclamation point. And Davy Jones got 2. Not too shabby. I don't know what happened to the thing. Messages. Where are the messages? Here. There we go. Gail Lance got 3 in round 3, and Gail was on hot seat. There you go. You guys are much more serious quizzes than me. All I do is host the silly things. Nice round 30 in total, says Nikki. Simone got 37 total. Narelle got 3. Stephen got 2. Right. That brings us to our Who Am I rounds. Final score 44 for Jill out of a potential no idea. Right, we'll do our Who Am I questions. Where have they gone? They are here. Okay. 28.5 total for Davey. Total round. Total scores confuse me. Norel 36, Stephen 32. Close, but no banana. Okay, let's go through the Who Am I question. So the way this works, if you're in a tiebreaker situation, you can use this to settle your tiebreaker. Basically, I'm going to read out clues about a person, place, year, thing, etc. As I go along, if you think you know the answer, have a crack at it. If you get it right, you win the tiebreaker. If you get it wrong, you lose the tiebreaker. The other person wins. So you need to be quick, but you need to be correct. If you're not in a tiebreaker situation, just have a go. Have fun. Type the answer into the YouTube comments if you think you know it. So we'll do the first one is the official tiebreaker, and then we'll have a second one just for fun afterwards. Okay, here we go. Who am I? I was born in Queens, New York City in 1946. I am of Scottish and German descent, with my mother and all four of my grandparents having been born outside of the USA. In school, I displayed behavioral problems, and at the age of 13 was enrolled in the New York Military Academy, where I finished high school. I attended Fordham University in the Bronx, and then transferred to the Wharton School of Finance and Commerce at the University of Pennsylvania, which had one of the few real estate studies departments in the US. During the Alaskan gold rush, my paternal grandfather amassed a fortune by opening restaurants and hotels for gold seekers on their way to the region. This fortune had been handed down to my parents, who had become one of the largest property developers in New York City. After graduating from college, I joined my father's company and participated in many revitalization projects. In 1971, I moved to Manhattan and took part in larger construction projects. By 1973, I was president of the company. In 2003, I became executive producer and host of the reality show The Apprentice. And in 2016, I announced my candidacy for president of the United States. Pretty easy one this week. I think most people got it pretty early. Chris got it first in the comments, possibly beaten by, I'm going to say Peter's probably messaged me directly. I am, of course, Donald John Trump. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay, let's do the second one. This one's just for fun. Slightly more difficult, I think. Who am I? I am assumed to have been born around 1853, although it is not specified. I joined the British forces in India with the 5th Northumberland Fusiliers before being attached to the 66th Berkshire Regiment of Foot. I saw service in the Second Anglo-Afghan War, was wounded at the Battle of Maiwand in 1880 by a bullet in the shoulder, suffered enteric fever and was sent back to England to recover, but my health was essentially ruined, and I was given a pension for 9 months. In 1881, while seeking accommodation in London, I was introduced by a friend to someone who would become a great friend and colleague, and we shared a flat for many years. I was surprised when my colleague was not given due credit by the press for his good works and decided to publish my own accounts of his investigations. Together we solved many crimes, and I acted as biographer and advisor to my friend in his capacity as a consulting detective. Known as the companion to Sherlock Holmes, I am Dr. John Watson. Fictional character, of course, but that's fair play. I think it was Chris again who got that one first, though Peter has messaged me directly. Anyway, there we go. Dr. John Watson, or Dr. Joan Watson, as portrayed in the TV show Elementary. Anyway, hope you had fun. Hope you're keeping safe. Keep on doing this for a while yet, I imagine. So, see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone, says Simone. Have fun at your quiz tomorrow night, Simone. Hope you do well as the Verbinator. Steal some questions. Email them to me. All right. Oop, lots of Facebook messages. No worries, Lance and Gail. Glad you had fun. See you next time. All right. See you, everyone. Stay safe. Bye. Where's my mouse gone? I can't click the button. There it is. Bye.